Well, hello Blue Troopers, Max of Max's Models here, and got a little bit of work done today on the ITC video. That's going to be a little while in coming, and I decided to go ahead and get to work on the Phantom. Got out to the turbs today, got the cockpit more or less finished off, and it turned out to be a little trickier than I expected just because there's so much detail. This is the centerpiece that goes between the two canopies, and of course it's one solid piece of acrylic. So I have masked the inside and the outside of it, and I made the first masks on the outside, then peeled them off, swapped sides, and put them and stuck them to the inside. That's how, because it was too tricky to try and cut inside, at least with these big hands. And then I remasked the outside and did it again. So I'm going to prime this in black, and then I'm going to, well, I guess I'll do gray first, then black, and then I'll shoot the outside with the gray. Okay, I'm going to soak this and dip the whole thing in floor wax to seal it. Then I'll prime it in black, or prime it in gray, then hit it with black, and then hit the outside with the gray. While I was at it, I went ahead and put the wax clear coat on all the plastic. I'll mask it later, and this should be fairly straightforward to mask. Although the recesses are a little shallow, so I have to be very careful like it was on the other piece. Fortunately, on the two other canopies, it's just the forward canopy bow that has to be masked off. The rest of it. There are 4 parts just to the nose gear forward door. Antenna, the lights, the main piece, and the backing cover. And 2 tones of paint. Increments, started getting some of the red trim done around the control surfaces. I believe they do that in the Navy and maybe sometimes even in the Air Force, just to make it real easy to glimpse to see if control surface is out of position or something. And I believe that's the idea behind that. That's something that goes back to World War II. I remember the die brakes on the SPDs were red on the inside. And the kit is slowly coming together. I got a charcoal pencil from my wife. Some of you guys have talked about charcoal is good for weathering. And she actually had a charcoal pencil and a white pastel pencil, which would be handy on, the darker paints. But I gave that a try. It worked out real nice. So playing with a bunch of weathering techniques. Of course, I had to cover some of them up when I oversprayed the cockpit, but that's okay. Really not a whole lot else to talk about. The one little boo-boo that I did was the very last piece of the Red Fox cockpit decal was the part that goes over the Rio's instrument panel. It hangs from the canopy bow, and it popped out of my hand, and I could have swore it dropped in the cockpit. I tore this place apart looking for it, but it's so tiny. And it may have gone down one of those slots inside the bowels of the airplane, in which case it is gone forever. I'm not tearing the airplane apart for it. But then I realized, wait a minute, they give you these incredible diagrams of everything, and they're to scale. So I just trimmed out that one and glued it in place, and it'll suffice. A little bit of resourcefulness there to make up for carelessness. Got to work on the landing gear, some of the antennas. I didn't realize there's actually plastic parts that go over the landing gear to add detail to it. But when I'm done, I got to take a piece of wire and put on the hydraulic lines because that's the one thing that's not there. But incredible kit. Just learning a lot about the Phantom as I'm building it. Partly some of you guys have experience with the Phantom. You sent me information, but also just learning what all this stuff does as you're building it. Using paint pens in some places, like the red, I used a paint pen instead of paintbrush. And since it's just a flat surface, it's a lot easier and less mess. Just forward progress being made. And hopefully tomorrow I'll just get some more done. This thing, even once I get it all put together, it's going to take forever to decal. It's got the most complex decal sheet I've ever seen, 2 of them actually. And then I got to re-weather because, you can't have pristine decals on a dirty airplane. It won't look right. So lots of work left ahead of me. Spoke to the colonel the other day, though. He's all excited to see it, and I'm excited to show it to him. So live stream Saturday night, 7 o'clock standard time. It's going to be from Hurricane Hobbies. Steve and Ken probably won't be with us. They're both occupied, but Ian will be there to wingman me. So hope we'll have a whole bunch of fun. We'll talk to you guys later. Hope you're having a great evening. And as always, model on.